Welcome to another season of Wildcat Weekly here on the Wildcat Media Network. And we have an exciting time here on the LC campus. LC football starting up once again. And the Wildcats go 7-3 last year, narrowly missing out on the NCAA Division III playoffs. And we'll take a look at a little bit how they got there last season as we got a video review of last season's team. The 2010 season will always be remembered as one that put the LC Wildcats in the national spotlight. Despite starting the season off with a 1-3 record, the Wildcats rattled off 6 straight wins to end the season, narrowly missing out on the NCAA playoffs. Quarterback Ben McLaughlin emerged as one of the nation's top players, shattering American Southwest Conference passing records, as well as being named the ASC Male Athlete of the Year and a finalist for the prestigious Gagliardi Trophy. With McLaughlin graduated, a new crop of stars emerges for this year's team, led by preseason All-American Darnell Williams. Williams, who had over 1,100 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns last season, is expected to be one of the nation's elite talents at the wide receiver position. LC's much-improved defense brings back stars Reggie Calhoun and one of the ASC's top linebacking cores in Phil Ford, Nate Jansen, and Taylor Catano. The Wildcats will look for a little revenge in their season-opening game on September 3rd against the Belhaven Blazers, who defeated them in last season's season opener by the score of 41-34. And I'm honored to have here a couple of LC football players from this year's team. We have sophomore defensive end Terrance Bratten. Terrance, great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
As well as junior safety Spencer Chrisman. Spencer, great to have you here. Now, Spencer, you're going to be missing this season, obviously with a shoulder injury. So, but I'm sure you can't wait to watch this year's team on the field.
Right. I'm excited to see what we got in store. We're pretty deep on defense, and we're going to be pretty talented.
Now, a big talk about from last year's team is going to be obviously the graduation of Ben McLaughlin, the All-American quarterback. He was all-everything last year. ASC Male Athlete of the Year, shatters a couple of ASC marks in passing. So what are we looking for as far as the quarterback race this year? What are we looking at as far as players, and how's that competition going?
Well, at the quarterback position this year is high competition, and everyone knows it's going to be hard to replace Ben McLaughlin, but we have 3 talented quarterbacks that are fighting for starting position right now, and you know, they have talent, so we'll see what happens.
Now, obviously, we won't know who the starting quarterback is until Saturday against Belhaven, but we look at guys, you know, we look at Alonzo, we look at Tim Curry, we look at Jamie Bunning. What did each of those guys kind of bring to the table, as far as their skill sets go?
Well, Jamie, he's probably the most athletic because he can move in and out of the pocket. He could, you know, take off down the field if he has to. He could also throw the ball well. And Tim Curry, he's a taller quarterback, so his vision might be a little bit better. He can see down the field better, and he's accurate as well. And there's Alonzo, he's a physical quarterback as well. He could take off running. He's physical. I mean, I've seen him run linebackers over at practice, so they all have certain gifts.
Now, no matter who the quarterback is, they're certainly going to have an excellent crop of receivers to throw to, and that's led, of course, by the preseason All-American candidate Darnell Williams, who's just an animal on the field. You'll see him out there quite a bit this year, number 88. And talk a little bit about him, but also some of the other guys that are in that receiving corps that are going to help him out.
Well, Darnell Williams is obviously the best receiver on our team, and he's an amazing playmaker. But as well, we have DeMario Parker, we have Dane Reeves, and other receivers that are produced this year in the passing game. So we're loaded in every area, and it's something to look forward to.
And, of course, you can't forget the big boys up front, Spencer. You have a great offensive line. Actually, if you look at it and stack them up pound for pound, probably one of the biggest offensive lines in the nation. And what do those guys bring as far as leadership? Because I know there's a lot of older guys on that offensive line.
Yeah, there's two senior leaders on the team. They look really good, and they're real talented. So they should be the cornerstone for that offense.
Now, we'll look at the defense last year. Somewhat, maybe a little bit of a disappointment inside the LC locker room last year. The defense struggled a little bit at times, but changing personnel this year, changing the scheme, and we'll see a lot of talent out there, a lot faster on defense this year. So talk a little about maybe the scheme change and what we'll see on defense.
I tell you what, this has to be one of the most defensive units that we've ever had. Like, as far as talent and everything goes, it's amazing, man. But as far as up front, we're not that big, but we're very athletic. I'm pretty sure we'll rank among the top in the conference as far as athleticism. So, in our linebacking core, our secondary, we just have plenty of depth. So if someone goes down, someone can replace them, and we'll hardly lose a step.
Now, last year, the LC ran the 4-3 under defensive coordinator Bug Buchanan. This year, going to a little bit more of a 3-4 look. Well, what kind of advantages does that play into, and what does that really what kind of changes when you switch from a 4-3 to a 3-4?
Well, a 4-3 is primarily used, you know, to stop the running game more. But since we're in a pass pass-happy conference. Now we've switched to the 3-4, which means that we're getting more speed on the D-line, and our linebackers, they're athletic as well, so they can cover more.
Now, we started the season off with a pseudo start last Thursday against Wichita Baptist, a very good D2 team in a scrimmage game. Now, how did that scrimmage go? What are some of the things that you saw in that game?
I tell you what, we were kind of rusty in the scrimmage, but that's expected your first game of the year. But let's not take anything away from Wichita Baptist. They were an amazing football team. I believe they had 3 All-Americans on the offensive line, and they were tough. They had a solid defense. They had a solid offensive line, and their quarterback was decent. But, you know, we made a few mistakes in the scrimmage, but we've dwelled on those. You know, we had fatigue factor. That kind of settled in the first game of the year, so we're looking forward to Saturday.
Now, obviously, on Saturday, September the 3rd, is going to be the season opening game for the Wildcats. And, Spencer, you have a little bit of a personal input into this game with Belhaven. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I transferred from Belhaven last year. Played there my freshman year. Didn't really like it, but we lost to them last year, and I'm kind of looking to have a little bit of payback this year. Now,
41-34 was the final score of last year's game. Really kind of a heartbreaking loss. That was at Belhaven, however. This year, you bring them back to your place. And just talk a little bit about how getting that revenge at your place, how sweet that would be.
Oh, man, it would be amazing, you know, to be on Wildcat Field, and redemption is always great. So, you know, looking at film, Belhaven is not as good as they were last year, to say the least. Now, it's not a team that we can disrespect or overlook, but if we play the way that we're capable of playing for 4 quarters, we should walk away with a victory.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate you joining us here on Wildcat Weekly, our first episode of the 2011 season. So we'll look forward to seeing the LC Wildcats and Coach Dennis Dunn take the field this weekend against the Belhaven Blazers. And up next, we have our special guest host, Bryar Barton, who'll give us a little preview of the women's soccer program.
Are you looking for the right college to attend? Well, look no further than Louisiana College. Since the establishment of Louisiana College in 1906, the school has stressed the value of faith and learning for students and constantly encourages students to want more in life. With a variety of different curriculums to choose from, Louisiana College offers degrees in areas that range from biology and history to biblical studies and education. LC also offers minors in certain fields and even gives students a chance to gain a master's degree in a field of their choosing. And let's not forget the student life on campus. With dorms and apartments for both men and women, Louisiana College has a student center for student activities and also offers health and fitness facilities such as HOS Gym and the James and Mary Baker Health and Wellness Center. Louisiana College also offers sports that range from softball and baseball to soccer and football for both men and women. There's simply never been a better time to come to Louisiana College.
And welcome to another segment of Wildcat Weekly. Here to talk a little bit of women's soccer is our soccer insider, I guess we can call him, Bryar Barton. Bryar, great to have you on the show.
Good to be here.
Your first appearance here on Wildcat Weekly. We're excited to have you. So, Bryar, you had a chance this week and the past couple of weeks to kind of catch up on the women's soccer program. A little bit of a disappointment last year as they went winless, but Coach Bruce Deaton out there really working hard to turn this program around. So just talk a little bit about what you've seen.
Yeah, they're really confident about the new staff that they're bringing in. They brought in, I think they've doubled the roster actually from last season, bringing in 12 new freshmen, as well as some transfers. So they're really excited, and they think this will be a turning point, actually, in their season. So.
And I know you had a chance to catch up with the Wildcat program this week. So we'll go to Bryar's insight on the women's soccer program and see what they're bringing to the table for this season.
We ready? What? We ready? What? We ready? What? For y'all.
And the Lady Wildcats are ready to put last year's record of 0-19 behind them. Second-year head coach Bruce Deaton has doubled last year's roster from 12 to 24 players by bringing in both transfers as well as talented freshmen.
Just the sheer number of players makes a huge difference. Creates more competition within the team for playing time. Recruiting. I think that we just are continuing to grow the quality level of the players.
I'm really pumped. We have some talent coming in. A good amount of our starting 11 is composed of freshmen. We've got 2 great defenders coming in that are going to help us out a lot. two great forwards that are hopefully going to be scoring us some goals.
One of the top returning players from last season is Emily Bro. The 5'7" junior from Lafayette set an American Southwest Conference single-season record for saves last season with 326, a record she hopes not to break again.
I enjoyed the fact that I set the record, but it was a very negative record team-wise. So I'm just hoping that this season I will not have to make as many saves and we will win some games.
The Lady Cats are confident they'll see large improvements both on offense and defense, thus disproving the preseason projection of finishing dead last in the ASC.
We will definitely see massive improvements in all areas. More goal production from our standpoint and less goal production from our opponent's standpoint.
Coach set us a goal that is more wins than losses, and I'm hoping we can come to that. If not, winning 3 to 4 games would be great.
And thank you again, Bryar, for your insight into the LC Women's Soccer program. And we look forward to seeing them in action this week. They play on Thursday and Saturday, so if you get a chance, go out and watch them play. And next week we'll have a little chance to talk a little bit about the men's soccer program, who's in a very similar situation. Brand new faces around, a brand new roster, brand new coaching staff, and I'm sure they're also looking to turn their program around. So we thank you again for joining this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. So for Bryar Barton, Spencer Chrisman, and Terrance Bratten, I'm Jordan Meisner.